Hi friends, it's Pastor Karen with a Thoughtful Thursday. I'm just jumping on real quick. I just have a couple quick things in my head. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the menagerie of music that's playing in my house right now. But if you hear some extra guitar, bass, singing happening, it's just a musical extravaganza here at the Bartkowski household. I'm wearing my purple today because on Wednesday it was the longest day, right? The summer solstice, but also the day when we kind of put aside to draw awareness to Alzheimer's and dementias, and especially Alzheimer's. And so today we celebrated the longest day. Today's Wednesday. We celebrated the longest day as a way to bring awareness to the folks who are living with Alzheimer's disease, but also to the folks who are trying to and caring for folks with Alzheimer's disease, whether they are paid or unpaid, and of course to raise money to fund research and to hopefully find a cure someday for Alzheimer's disease. It is a very prevalent disease. Over 6.5 million people today have Alzheimer's disease in this country, and 2/3 of those people are women. And so, we really want to find ways to slow down the disease, to prevent the disease, or to eradicate the disease altogether, because it is really changes your lifestyle, right? Really changes how you interact with your family and your friends, and how your friends and family interact with you as a person who has Alzheimer's disease. And so we spend a lot of time making sure that we are not forgetting that those folks who might have just a diagnosis of a disease, because that's all it is, that we don't forget that they are people and that they are whole, and especially in God's eyes, that they are a whole person to God, because God doesn't look at what we look at, right? Doesn't look at the outside, and whether we can talk or whether we can communicate, or whether we spill our food when we try to eat, or some things that we might think of when we think of folks who have Alzheimer's disease. But God created us, our very being God created. And so I think it's really important for us to spend today just remembering that God created all of us, and that we are each of us, regardless of our abilities, of our gifts, of our strengths. We are all beloved children of God, and that is a gift that God has given us. So the other thing we do on Alzheimer's Awareness Day is to really recognize the caregiving that happens. Suddenly people are in need of help, right? They might need help getting dressed, or they might need help staying safe so that they don't turn on the oven and leave on the oven, or maybe they have been taking walks around their neighborhood for their whole lives practically, and now they get lost just in their own neighborhood. So even just those basic things, right, let alone the household chores and the driving and all of that. And so we know that so many folks are living at home with spouses taking care of them, or maybe even children who are kind of stuck in that what we call sandwich generation, right, where they're caring for their parents, and then they're also caring for their children. And so it's those folks really who we find through research and asking questions and studying how much stress those folks are under. And those are all unpaid caregivers. We're not talking about necessarily the caregivers who you pay to come in your house, or the caregivers who might provide care in like a residential community, or some kind of memory care neighborhood or something like that. Those folks might work an 8-hour day. They kind of come and go. They get a break. But if you're a family caregiver, it's very stressful. And so it's been calculated about how much money unpaid caregivers kind of cost if we were to take all the hours that they provide care to their family members, and we multiply it by an average wage of a caregiver. It's estimated that in this country we won't spend, but caregivers will equate to $271 billion, that's with a B, $billion of unpaid care is provided. So as people progress through the disease of Alzheimer's disease, they continually need more care, until the average person might need up to 24, 25 hours of care a week. That's like a part-time job, right? And a lot of that care is unpaid. So I say these things to you today because I think it's important that we recognize our friends and our neighbors, maybe the ones who, used to come to clubs and activities and things that we do, used to come to church, used to maybe be super involved in our church, and now because of Alzheimer's disease can't do those same things that they used to do before, which does not mean that they are significantly different than who they were before. And I think that's our job as Christians, to dig deep, to see God in each and every person, especially those people who lose the ability to communicate, or maybe to remember or to recall something. But we don't always know, we can't always know what's happening inside. And so we have to trust that that's where God resides, and that God is still living and working and loving those people. So I'm going to give you 2 jobs this week. One is to reach out to someone you haven't seen for a while, not because you think they have Alzheimer's, but reach out to somebody they haven't seen for a while and check in. And secondly, if you have a friend or a neighbor or a church member or a club or activity member that you know who is a caregiver for someone with Alzheimer's disease, reach out to them. Offer to do the grocery shopping, or offer to sit with their spouse or their loved one. Offer to just spend time so that maybe they can go to the grocery store. Maybe that's the respite that they need. Maybe they just want to take a walk around the neighborhood or go get their hair done. Or, just sit quietly in their own bedroom. So many opportunities for us to help. So how we can show love to God by seeing each and every person as God's beloved child. But we can also love our neighbors as we see that where their struggles are, where their burdens are, and how we might be able to help carry them. So I also would encourage you to go to the Alzheimer's Association website. Lots of great information about Alzheimer's disease and prevention and facts and figures, and what to look for and medications, and what's working, what doesn't work, what does the new research say. A really great website full of lots of great information. So happy summer solstice, happy longest day, and I hope this increased your awareness of Alzheimer's disease just a bit. I hope you have a great week, my friends. Take care.